Okay, this video is to how to do the annual maintenance for an indoor, oh, this is an indoor tankless water heater. So it's a simple process. It would take like 1 hour and it's well worth it because the previous one that I had, it was 11 years when the exchange heater had a leak because I never maintained it. I never knew about it. And now I know, and I'm doing it religiously every 1 year. So the process, how it works is I'll explain it everything, but I put 4 gallons of vinegar. Let's see. Literally, the Walmart vinegar, here it is. White vinegar. I put 4 of this in here. Then I have this sump pump, 1/4 HP, submersible, some plastic. If you can see, if you want to see the model, it's the 91 250. You can get it like for $70 or really less. So what you do is you have to first cut the cold water. You can tell this is the cold water, this one. You cut this, you cut the hot water to the house. So now you have a closed circuit between the machine and the service valves here, service ports. I also cut the gas here, and I disconnected the electricity so you cannot turn it on. It doesn't work. So that cable I disconnected from electricity. Then you put just 2 washing machine hoses into that port, the cold port, and you open that one so you create that loop that goes inside of the machine, goes through it, the vinegar goes in, descales the whole thing, comes out, you open that one too, and it comes down to the vinegar. That's it. And the cold one, which is that one, goes on top. So the sump pump is pushing vinegar into the cold service port. This is cut. Nothing is coming in except vinegar. It goes in, goes through it inside the exchange heater, and then it comes out and it comes back in, and you have the loop. And you leave this, like I usually do it for 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, I'll show you later how you disconnect the whole thing, but it's so simple as that. Also, before starting, what I did was I disconnected that thing, took it out like with needles. You just go in there like this, and you would take it out. I'll show you later because I'm going to do it once more. I cleaned the filter in there, that's in there. There's like a small filter that goes in here that filters the water going in. There was some scaling, but very little. I pre-cleaning it, so now I'm going with vinegar through it. And when I'm done, I'm gonna remove it again and see how it did, if there are more scaling or not, and just put it back. I'll show you that when the 45 minutes goes by. I just want to show you a perspective of how the whole thing is connected, so you get a good idea. I literally needed only this, some pliers, needle pliers, and I actually use that toothbrush to clean the filter, and that's it. I'll be waiting for 45 minutes, I'll be back. So after 45 minutes, I unplug the sump pump, and I move the sump pump from the vinegar to, I put some water, like cold water, and I moved everything down there. I want to eliminate all the vinegar from the system now. So I'm gonna throw this away in my bathtub, and then here my objective is to make cold water, clean cold water, go through the pump so it doesn't corrode, and the hoses and the internals on the water heater, so I don't get like vinegar taste on when I open the hot water or cold water or whatever. This is how the vinegar looks like on a white surface after you're done. It should look greenish. A little bit of greenish because it cleaned the copper pipes inside of the exchange heater. I put back the container and with some up inside, and then what I did was I closed this one, so when I open the main cold water, it doesn't go through here to the sump pump, because I want clean cold water to come in into the system. Now it's been pushed. See, it's coming out through the hot hose, and it's gonna come really fast. And I'm not fully opening it because that would be a lot of pressure, like 80 psi or a little bit less. So I want to put some water in here so the sump pump can dilute all the vinegar inside in the exchange heater. Anyway, right now it's cleaning the exchange heater because cold water is going through and coming back through the hot hose. There it is. As soon as I have a little bit more of clean water, I'm gonna go make it go through the sump pump. And this hose is still full of, I would say full, but vinegar. I want to clean it also. I don't want them to get corroded. So now that I have some water, I can close it. Okay. Now I can open this one. Let's see. There you go. So this one, we'll close it fully. There you go. So now we don't have water from the main, and now the closed circuit's open again, so I can make the sump pump push clean water through the system. Like I was pushing vinegar before, but now clean water. And here it is. So it's pushing clean water through the system now. And if I would like, I could put more water, but I think it's gonna be enough. Yep. I'll give it 1 more minute to clean the whole thing, flush everything with clean water, the hoses, the sump pump, the exchange heater, everything. So since everything is clean now, with clean water actually, I close the cold water valve, a service valve, and this I close the hot one. I can remove the hoses as well, and I can remove the other one. Yeah. And at this point, I'm gonna remove this to show you how the filter looks like, and if it's I have to clean it again or not. And then I would open this, and I have hot water. I can put this back, right? And I can have hot water in my house again. Give me a sec. So in order to remove that filter, you have to use like little pliers and go way inside and turn it until you can untie this with your hands. It's gonna take a while, a little bit. You just remove this. Yeah, some water will come out, and here it is. I would remove from here and check it that that it's just fine. Let's see if there is any scaling. I don't think so. I will clean it with a brush anyway, and just put it back. The way that you remove this is you have to give it a twist. I cannot do it with one hand. You twist it like 10 degrees and it comes out. And make sure that you don't lose that rubber gasket right there. Here's a more detail. Here it's clicking. So you hear that, and you pull it out. Those are the notches. And you put it back into that place where the notches are. And you turn it, and now they don't come out. Again, make sure you don't lose that rubber there. So I put back the filter. Don't over tight that thing, because it's plastic and you can break it. You will make sure later that doesn't leak once you turn on the water. So what did I do? I turn on the gas again here, Then I turn on cold water, hot water. I put back the PVC pipe for the pressure relief valve, and I put it here. What I do is I put this basket just here, just so and that by the way is a detector for moisture or water. And if you notice, this PVC pipe is cut in an angle so it can drip from there. And if that happens, that detector will let me know on my cell phone that there's water. At least I have some time until water gets full in this box, right? And so that's what I've done on my own. This is a personal preference. And also what I did was, by the way, I connected back to the power and I turn it on so you can see it's on. What I do on my hot water service valve, I connected this T for this arrestor to absorb any shocks on the hot water. And also I put this to measure my PSI. So I'm gonna bring it down over there. And now I'm gonna turn on, because I turn everything on. So now I'm gonna turn on this service valve to see the PSIs that I have. Yep, and I fully open that thing. So this one is on, that service valve. This one is off, because otherwise I would have water coming through here. Yes, I do have water coming through here, so the arrestor can absorb that, and also I can see how many PSIs do I have at home here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test and open the hot water on some of the second floor, for example, faucets, and see that everything works.